Hello class, and welcome to tech tutorial number 4. This one's on adding captions to your desktop documentary. Now, if you watched tech tutorial number 3, you may remember I used a video file called Symbols of Canada, and we were editing that and playing around, chopping things out, and getting rid of some footage we didn't want. Well, this time I'm going to use the Symbols of Canada again, and I'm going to click on it here and drag it down into the editing line on the first layer. Now, when you're adding captions and titles, you have to look at these tracks as layers. The ones that are on the bottom are the ones that are in the background. They're the furthest down. The ones that are on the top are the layers that are closest to the top. They're in the foreground. They're the ones that are the furthest up. So if I'm going to put text on, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to haul this down, this layer, one track below, okay? And it needs to be there to put the text on. Now, we're just doing some basic text stuff here today, and I'm going to go up, and you'll notice there's a big T here, okay? And that stands for title, and it could be used for caption as well. So we click on the title, and it's going to bring up a menu that says your text here. Now there's all sorts of different things you can do with your text. You can have it outlined, beveled, shadow, standard. I'll just pick a couple of things. I'm going to go into the standard menu. I'm going to say I want it medium size. And then I'm going to go into the shadow menu, and I'm going to say that I want a bit of a, I don't know, shadow on it. There we go. And I may go into the beveled menu and put a bevel on it, okay? Or I can go into the outline, and we can have it sort of, you can see this is white with a red outline. So you can do all kinds of different things with the text. Now, I'm just going to, what I do is I put my cursor at the first of the text, I drag it across, and I can type what I want to put then. I'm going to put Canada's loon. Okay? And that's a symbol of Canada. Now, I can decide where I think I want this to, this text. If I want the text to come right where it is, it's sort of going to block the loon out a little bit because it's going to be right across the center of the loon. If I move the text around or even go to here, you can see there's a little button here, and you can spin the text. I could spin it this way or that on the film footage, maybe even put it up in the corner. And if I want to make it smaller, all I have to do is go to the resize box, and I can okay, and I can also select it here too. Select the text and go over here and choose, instead of having it 72 point, I can go with 48 and have Canada's loon. Okay? As you mouse over, you'll notice that a little crosshairs come up. This gives you the chance to move this around. So if I want to move it up to the, say, upper corner and have Canada's loon there, that'll be fine. I can do that. I can put it in there. And all I need to do now is go, okay. Okay? Now, the computer went and automatically stuck it in here, but I don't want it as a title that's going to come up here. I want it as an overlay title. So I'm going to grab it and bring it up top and overlay it, and there you go. Now I have Canada's loon in that place, just above the top of the loon. Now, I may want a slightly longer effect than the one I have, and if I do, all I need to do is grab onto that side of that text box and haul it out for as long as I want it. Well, I don't want it that far, that's for sure, into the maple syrup stuff. And I don't want it on a Canada Goose either. There. I may want it that far. And you'll notice once again it has to render. It's an orangey yellow, and it has to turn all green before you can play it. And I think our first caption's in. So if we go to the start and hit play on the preview menu, let's take a look. There it is, Canada's loon. Okay, just like I wrote it. That's how you add a simple caption. You can add more elaborate captions and titles if you like. Pinnacle has a whole selection of titles, and if you go up here under where it says titles in the top bar, you can click and it'll give you a bunch of different titles you can choose. Some of them are better than others, but Pinnacle Ultimate does give you a wide range of different titles you can pick from. A lot of them have to do with Christmas and seasons and that, so I'm not so sure how well you'll do finding anything here that would be appropriate for your desktop documentary. Down towards the bottom you may find some things that are kind of interesting. For instance, this one. I'm just going to haul this in for the fun of it. And you can put this in the same way up on top, right? And you can stretch it out for as long as you wish. And if you go into it, okay, you can double click. And where it says your text here, you can once again type your own text. And this I'm going to put maple syrup, because that is a symbol of Canada. And once again, I'm not going to leave it sit there right over the maple syrup sap can. I'm going to put it down here, out of the way, and I'm just going to leave it and go okay. There we go. Now we'll play when it comes across. I'll just have to wait for it to pick up. Alright, let's give it a try. There we go. Maple syrup. Okay, a bit more of an interesting title than just the plain old lines that on the Canadian loon. Now, you can make titles move and do different things. These are called looks or effects. I'll go back to Canada's loon for a second, and the title that I put in there, I just have to double click to edit the title bar. And when I'm here, you'll notice it says up here motions, okay? So if I click motions, I can have an entrance for this, and I can choose to have the words coming in from behind. So you'll notice there, they come in from behind. Then there's an emphasis. What do you want to do once they're in there, okay? Do you want to have them sort of grow? Do you want to have them pulse? Do you want to have them jiggle? Let's pick jiggle. That looks kind of fun. So you want to have jiggling, and then when they leave, when they exit, what do you want to have them do? Well, we're going to have them fall away like that. Canada's loon, just fall away. Whoop. So, we've got the... I missed it. Okay, maybe we'll go with that one instead. Okay, now we'll go OK, and we'll see what that looks like. First, we have to wait for it to render, which will take only a second. And then let's see what we've created. So it enters, it jiggles, and then it enters, it jiggles, and then it exits. There we go. Okay, thank you very much for your patience. The next lesson will be on audio. Finding out how to put audio, both songs for background as well as sound effects on top of this loon,